Hello, my astrology friends. This is Lada from AstroladaOfficial, and we continue with the 2025 Astrology Marathon. But today, the presentation and the video has longer duration than just 2025 because me and especially my guest is astrologer Susanna. Hello.
Hello, Lada.
Hello, beautiful Susanna. I'm so excited because the topic you have chosen, it's so uplifting, so positive, and my favorite topic for the next 3, 4 years because this configuration of Pluto, Neptune, and Uranus in a bisextile is going to last almost till the end of this decade. And it has not happened. I tried to look back to see when Pluto, Neptune, and Uranus were all in a positive bisextile configuration or grand trine. I could not find that. I could not find that time in history, looking as far as I could. So it's going to be something unprecedented that we haven't seen. And I want you to lead us through this. You've prepared amazing presentation for us. Let me just, can you say a few words? Can you start?
Yeah, it's very special. As you mentioned, at the beginning when I started searching, I was doing electional search and I was searching for this configuration. And with some softwares, AstroSync, I think was it, I couldn't go so much back
Yeah.
into the past. So then I used my software, and there, fortunately, I was able to go really, really back in time. So I will share with you later a couple of very interesting charts. And today, maybe the presentation will be also a little bit different because we'll go really back. We will go 3,000 years back to show you the parallels between what was happening then and what is happening now in our reality. And there are very major events connected to this configuration. I have specifically searched for Pluto, Uranus, and
Yeah.
Neptune. um, in aspect to each other, not only bisextile because it was, as you mentioned, very difficult, but then I was searching for configuration between them, and then I was looking for a specific position of them in the sun signs we will have very soon, all of them together. And I found I think one, and to me, it was one of the biggest, really, discoveries probably in my life because I came across very interesting professor and the anthropologist of history. And as I was doing this research, I took a couple of his lectures. His, his name is Eric H. Klein, very interesting guy. And his lectures are about the parallels between the late Bronze Age and nowadays. He started his research around 2000 something, and he published a very interesting book in 2014, which is called 1177 Before Christ. It was the title of the book is The Year Civilization Has Collapsed. And
Oh, wait.
I was speechless when I was listening to his lectures. I couldn't believe. And of course, then we put this history into astrological perspective. So what astrologers normally do, we search. We go in the past, we search for a certain configuration, and we're trying to find the clue if it's true what he think as historian. And I'm so excited really to share this with you. Of course, I will not go into so many historic details, but in this presentation, I will focus not so much what does it mean to have Uranus in Gemini, Neptune in Aries, and Pluto in Aquarius, which, by the way, I did last year
Yes, it's
in
beautiful
Aquarius.
video.
So I recommend everyone also to go through this and listen. Pluto in Aquarius, I think Sveti will be doing Uranus in Gemini, and Victor was doing Neptune, Saturn in Aries. So I recommend everyone to go first through these lectures and then listen to this, because this is a little bit more complex, because I'm talking about the wall configuration, which is called also, as you mentioned, the protective energy, protection from the God, or magic triangle, or in personal horoscope, it's also a so-called talent triangle, because it's composed of two sextiles. Between the apex in the middle, we have Neptune, but Neptune will be activated together with Saturn.
Yes.
And there are two sextiles. One is to Pluto in Aquarius, and another is to Uranus in Gemini. And between them, there is a trine. So many supportive aspects. And to my opinion, it is also very good. There will be Saturn in the beginning, because Saturn in this configuration will get us on our feet. Really, it will show us something maybe which is not so nice, or maybe something we don't like. And because of this, we will have to unite. Because of this, we will have to understand that it's not the typical hierarchies we have lived so far with Pluto in Capricorn, where the power was from the up to the bottom. But I believe this will be a game changer when people will realize we will need to go from bottom up. And
Grassroots.
yes,
Just like now, so many normal people are becoming politicians and taking through influencers, normal people, just through access to media.
absolutely, absolutely. And of course, it's not only beautiful. Of course, I will try to stay positive with this presentation, but I don't want people to think that they will do nothing and they will go to sleep, and in the morning they wake up and we're in the different world. It doesn't work this way, but it's a process, and I believe we are born into this reality for a reason. I believe we have chosen to be here, and even if we don't see the final results of these energies in our lives, I think it's worth it to be here, to participate in this, and to do our best, and what's more beautiful than to live our life with a purpose to help this change. So, but I will get back to this. During my research, I have found very interesting time periods, and one was this 1177, but of course it's not the exact year. But this was the time period when late Bronze Age, because Bronze Age was a couple of hundred of years lasting time or time period, and the late Bronze Age was approximately happening between 1700 to 1200. And why also this professor Klein was studying it and was so interested in it was because this time period, this civilization, which was composed of a couple of parallelly living existing civilizations, he said 8, but maybe it's not the exact number, but it collapsed very quickly. It collapsed between 30 to 50 years, which is very, very fast collapse. And
it's one generation only, yeah.
exactly. And in his lectures, he said that there was only one a little bit similar collapse, and this was the age of the Western Roman Empire. And I have both charts because both charts are very relevant to our times. And the third very interesting time period was 15th century before Christ. So, but it was first civilization when Thebes was the biggest city in the world. It was very rich when all these cultures just were born and created when it was international trade. I will explain when international trade was flourishing. But this was a time period, 15th century before Christ, which was first, and then there was this end, fall, and then Dark Age, of course. So now we're in reversed moment, because now you'll see the charts. It's amazing.
Yes.
Now we have already had these difficult energies. They had Pluto in Capricorn after this happened. Now we already had Pluto in Capricorn. Of course, it's not so long period, but we behind it. We're behind another configuration which was there, and it was Uranus in Aries. We're behind it. It happened a couple of years ago. And we're even behind Saturn in Libra, which was there in the chart again. Long time ago in our lives, it was 2012, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So it seems we are in the shift, in a huge shift of consciousness of our reality. But I think, and I want to believe, and I found the proof that we are in reversed motion, that now we already had Dark Age, little one, of course, and we're moving to really better realities. And what I also found there, it's that to me, one of the major players from the planetary perspective in this shift will be Neptune. And I know that many people say, as with every planet, that Neptune is delusional and we don't see things clearly. Of course, yes, these are all attributes of Neptune. But I believe that Neptune in the highest vibration, highest manifestation are miracles, is really opening hearts of the people and connecting. And I have shivers, really.
Me too.
And I think in the beginning, it will be activated in summer 2025, Saturn Neptune as the apex of this Bi-sextile. And I like that Saturn is there, really. I believe for some reason Saturn is there, and they have been dancing together in Pisces already for, it will be 6 years altogether. So they have been there. And when you think about Neptune in Pisces, it's been there since 2011, 2012, I believe. And so we have been, be it maybe not consciously, maybe unconsciously, but we have been creating some vision. And the last couple of years, I felt it in my life, and it was not really conscious, but the last couple of years with Saturn there in Pisces, I felt that I need to do something more, not only being in the la land. I have Sun in Pisces, so this Saturn was very much helping. And now the shift, which will start happening in the summer next year, the Saturn-Neptune conjunction, there will be something maybe bad, maybe we will be very close to a big catastrophe. Yes, it's very possible. Yeah, event. And it could be nature, but it could be a war or war event. But I think there will be a change. I think, and maybe it will be painful. I'm not saying we all will survive. I don't know exactly, but I think there will be a change, and that there will be at the same time something beautiful about it, that hearts of people really will open and we will connect. So this is my, opinion about this. I will go one by one. I will share the screen. And one last thing I wanted to mention, when I go back to that story 3,000 years ago, about, of course, there is it's happening in the geographical area of Aegean region, around the Aegean Sea, which is Turkey, basically, Turkey nowadays, and Eastern Mediterranean. And Eastern Mediterranean was the area around the Mediterranean Sea, mostly.
Yes.
And it was Syria
Oh
and
my
other
God.
places.
So
But
history
couple of
repeating itself in even
exactly.
2,000-year cycle.
Exactly. You know, when I don't read so much news, my fiance is the one who sometimes tell me what's happening, and I'm grateful for that. But you know, 2 days ago, I think this Assad dynasty has been, you know, they've fallen down,
Mm.
and of course it's political, but it seems that now, you know, all the tensions and all the problems in Syria, it's not only about Syria, it's about the whole world. And I think this will have a huge implication that now the energy is really accelerating. And when I was studying this Eastern Mediterranean time, um, this Eastern Mediterranean region, it was mostly Syria, Egypt, of course, Turkey, Near East was Afghanistan, Iran, Iraq, and then
Israel.
Israel, of
You know
course.
that the time you said 1,000 something years was the
Il-
time of the Exodus as well, when Israel went first to claim the lands.
Mhm.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. So that's why we're seeing all this bubbling because of the river.
Exactly, exactly. And there are some other parts of the world, as the, you know, Greece and Sardinia and Cyprus and part of Italy. I haven't mentioned probably everything, but it's really, when you imagine this was the world then. They called this world because it
Yeah.
was very, very different scale, and because of the water, these civilizations where they lived close to the water.
Mhm.
And when the fall happened, most of the cities, very rich cities from the west, and west was the isle of Pylos in Greece, to the east, which was a Giza Strip, all these cities were destroyed almost completely. The only civilization out of 8 which was able to survive was Egypt. But even Egypt was really badly hurt. So, and there is much more. I will explain a few things because there are very interesting parallels, and I don't have this in the slide. But this professor, he explains, he calls this event as the perfect storm.
Wow.
And why the perfect storm? He explains that there were a couple of factors which contributed to the end of civilization. There was massive drought,
Mhm.
so-called climate change today. I want to put it into the perspective. Then there was
Maybe they had too many cows back then. It's
then there was famine, which so many people don't have even nowadays food, you know, which is very basic need. So it's the same nowadays too. There were invaders, and in that time they were called sea people. But these sea people were not only people who were trying to destroy these rich places and to live there and to, you know, to take them their places to find the better conditions for themselves. They were not only rebels. These sea peoples were whole families migrating. So he compares this to mass migration we have nowadays, you
God.
know, for better life, to find a better life. But also he compares some tribes of these sea people to ISIS, to Muslim Islamic State, to you know, these extremists. We have it nowadays too. Then he talks about, you know, that during that time the international trade was flourishing. He called them globalized society. It's crazy. I have never think about this, but he said it was happening already in the smaller world we have today, but it was happening. Of course, diseases. Most of the diseases were connected to the water, either lack of water or floods, or there were many infections. So again, it's happening today. And I believe that years of, what we had recently, I don't know if I can mention that word, this was the time period which added to the fragility of the system, which added another factor to extremes when you compare what he's talking about, what's happening in the past and what is happening now. And at the end, what's the conclusion is that not a single of these events, drought, famine, fragile economical, political system, international trade, globalized society, one event cannot cause the collapse of the whole civilization. He explains that in the books you will find information that this was caused by sea peoples, this huge migration and also these invaders. But there was also internal rebellion happening. I forgot to mention this internal. Nowadays, the society is so polarized that we have it everywhere. Even neighbors don't speak because of their opinions. So it's extreme nowadays too. And he calls this chain reaction, that one maybe even smaller event, not so significant, can cause in this so much complex and intertwined system internationally, can cause total damage and the whole civilization collapse.
Oh.
And I was thinking about it, and I was really seeing his lectures couple of times. I was like, he's genius. He's right. And the question, he said, the question is, with such complex system, and we have very complex system we live today, very complicated, complex. There are so many laws, rules, what you can do, can't do. When you're traveling, visa, the laws in one country are absolutely different to laws in another country. And he said that it's not a question is not when the system will collapse. The question, if the system will collapse, the question is when, the timing. And he also was mentioning some other researchers, and he said they're telling the same. First, there is too much complexity of the system. Then there is it fall apart into chaos, out of which a new system eventually will arise within a certain period of time. So I believe, what I want to say, I believe that we're really very close to complete collapse of the current system, and that the change is inevitable. Maybe we are already in that collapse period. I don't know. I don't know how it will look like nowadays, but because probably it's not, as I said, one day event. And maybe the beginning of this collapse was 2020. But I think when we put it in perspective today and the past, and we know the time flies faster. I cannot imagine what will happening with the time beginning this Bi-sextile when it's activated, because the energies will go more up. We're talking about moving from the water and the earth into fire and air element. It's the rise of Kundalini energy. It's really going up with the frequency. So I don't know how we will be collectively able to handle this speed and these changes. But probably this time collapse will be much faster. I believe it will be much faster.
Because this also manifestation is much faster with Aries, Gemini, Aquarius. These are fast speed signs. And if you have a vision in your mind, now with AI, you can make it 10 times faster than before. And but at the same time, if you have a negative vision, say someone like hypochondriac, oh, I'm going to get cancer, I'm going to get cancer. You can also speed up such manifestations. So it's going to be a dangerous zone there. Beautiful for positive manifestations and a bit, whoa, in personal life. when you speak about the whole world, it's like you said, everything will speed up so quickly. Because water and Earth was Saturn, when Pluto, Saturn, Neptune, Uranus were till now, they keep the shape still. They're feminine signs. They want to keep hold on to the past. You're so right. The change will be so fast.
And as you mentioned, there were yin energies. They are very subtle, more passive, and we're moving into the young energies, more dynamic, masculine, fire and air, and and this is a lot about the contact, communication, technologies, and spirituality. When you connect also all the positions of the planets in the specific sun signs, so it's to me this is time to act. Really, if someone on the personal level have been procrastinating on something till now, I think this is a kick in the ass, and this is like, do it. Don't think too much about it. Do it. Maybe think about the time is now, that maybe we don't have so much time. So this is really about action and being responsible for our lives, with the Saturn also there in the apex in Aries, not only Neptune, but Saturn in the beginning of this push. And I was also thinking about this Saturn Neptune as the apex. I don't have this in the slide, so I will mention it here. And they will meet in 2025 in the summer. I don't remember the exact date, but I will share this slide.
Okay, yeah.
And then they will meet one more time, exact. I'm talking about the exact degrees in February 2026. But then slowly Saturn will be separating from Neptune. So only Neptune will stay in Aries. Of course, it's the beginning of the new cycle, but slowly Saturn will go, Saturn stays in one sign 2.5 years. So it will be slowly separating. And to me, Saturn represents the old reality, or the old Earth. And Neptune is the new reality and the new Earth. And Neptune will stay in Aries, and Aries are the first sign of the zodiac. So Aries are about the new beginnings. So to me, this is really somehow that our reality is changing. It's completely, we are moving into lighter and higher frequencies. That it's not so much anymore about what we can touch, what we can feel. It's not about what car you drive or what your possessions are. It's more about who you are as the person. How you help, what do you do, how you contribute to society. It's a change, but I believe that this is a change to higher frequencies. Maybe within a span of couple of years, we will not eat so much, or we will not need so much stuff.
Absolutely, you're right. The hunger will be down, the need, because masculine signs, they're more Spartan as well. They don't need the comforts and the material pleasures like we're used. Can I share something with you before you start? Because when you told me this, you floored me that you saw similar configuration 3,000 years ago. I want to share very quickly with you
I will be very happy.
Graham Hancock. Do you see it? This is
Yes.
different ages, golden age, silver age. So from 10,000 years ago, 12,000 years ago, BC, we were at a golden age of consciousness, which means people were all telepathic. They could, when they were dying, they were leaving their body. They didn't find death. They were not at the same intellectual level, of course. And look what he says around the year 1000 BC, 975 BC. So there might be a few years difference there.
Yeah, of course.
Ending Iron Age, Kali Yuga, ended. And straight away starts the ascending Kali Age, which is 2,700 years. And there is 300 years adjustment period where all the craziness happens. Look, when he says we end all the Kali Dark Age Yugas. Calculation is 2025. It ends and we have 300 years transitional period. And exactly it corresponds to your research and that there was a configuration of Pluto, Uranus, Neptune 3,000 years ago, approximately 100 years. There's always 100 years between. And that exactly corresponds. So yeah, this is crazy. We're on the verge, but you see, we're on the verge of ending the dark age. There were two dark ages, one after another, of 6,000 years, where we lost consciousness and touch with higher realities. And we're on the verge, there's 300 years transitional period, but we're on the verge of the next ascending Bronze Age. So anyway, I'm stopping that.
Totally. I agree. And what I have noticed as I'm doing the readings for people, and most of the people I'm doing readings are not really spiritual. Most of the people who get to me are people who are just, they feel somehow that the world is changing. They cannot even name it. There many of them are, for example, at the moment, successful businessmen, usually men. Women are a little bit different, but I'm talking specifically about the men who are not in the spiritual field. And I just observe that there is definitely something changing, because these people, they probably feel unconsciously that they need to change something in their life. They have everything they need, but they're looking for a purpose. They feel that it may be different world within a couple of years. They just don't name it. And that's why I really think next couple of years, especially 2025, 6, and 7, will be maybe the most important years in our lives in regards to our next direction personally. So if someone, I would recommend to everyone who feels that he is looking for a change, he need to change something in the life. It's really time. It's really time to think about it and to do it, because things will be happening too many, too fast, and only people who are able to adapt and who don't, who don't hold too much to things, who will be able to pack, for example, and to move somewhere, or to change their job, or to switch from some routine job to online space. I think these people will really be in advantage comparing to the others. So it's really good to listen to your intuition and to look for alternatives, to learn new things, and to have some guides who are helping you to navigate if you cannot do it by yourself.
Oh, we'll have to be learning constantly. Aquarius, Pluto in Aquarius, Uranus in Gemini, age of Aquarius.
Totally.
The ones that will thrive will be the ones that are constantly learning. But I think because of the beautiful configuration in the next 5 years, there will be so many opportunities for
Absolutely.
people it's without them having to cross 9 mountains to find it's just going to be there on your laptop. When you turn around, the opportunities will appear. I can't tell you how many friends I know who took one AI course and now they're making so much money. It's like simple AI course they took online and their life changed.
And I believe that the whole educational system will change.
Oh,
With the Uranus in Gemini, it will be very fast.
And it will be more alternative, and it will be more aligned to this ADHD components that we have this, and it will be like kids being more outside. And they say a lot digital, but I also see Gemini is a lot hands-on.
Yes.
But they'll be like kids, they can't sit in a room for 8 hours. I'm looking at my kids, it's killing them. They need to, and they'll adapt this to kids, to their need for, be outside, interact. And Anyway, sorry. I'm
Yeah,
giving you the,
yeah, I agree, but I believe this is the way your kids are is also thanks to you. You know, some parents they don't pay too much attention to kids, and then the kids are really stick to their laptops and to their phones. I believe that this is also about the parents that you support their creativity. You know, you support their movement outside, and I think kids they in fact don't need so much, they need the support of the parents to show them you can do this, you can do that,
they
and
can't
then they
figure it themselves. Like what's been helping me a lot is because they come back from school and all they want to do during the week is just sit and watch TV
yeah,
or be on the phones. And I'm like, no. So I ask AI and I say, if I want to develop these and those skills or these qualities, compassion, emotional intelligence, give me some games or arts. And it tells me, I mean, it's and the great ideas and the kids love them. And we're playing those games, we're doing those arts and crafts. And I say, outside, I want to be outside. Tells me games, obstacle course, whatever. Because it's hard to sit as a grown up to think of kids games and activities that will stimulate something positive, but it uses the AI psychological research, and it tells which works best for this type of kid. So it has very positive side AI, and in the next 4 or 5 years with the bisextile between Pluto and Uranus in air signs we will see the positive side of it, but over the next 20 years or something, when they start squaring, we're going to see the dark side. But first, it will show us its really beautiful side that can help humans. But then in later years, we'll see how it can, rise of the machines, terminate the stuff, probably, who knows. But for now, it's good. So,
yeah, yeah. I believe that even people who are so tech prone, they love all the new gadgets and devices, and the only thing they need to be a little bit careful is their nervous system. Unless you're able to find a balance and to go to nature and to walk barefoot in exterior, I think yeah, it's absolutely okay. Use it. Don't have your phone in your bedroom during the night and switch Wi-Fi off during the night. I would recommend if you have the option to do so. But on the other side, I think we are here to use technology, so use it, but only be a little bit careful about your nervous system. You feel that it's getting worse if you cannot sleep in the night, or then you should do something about that and to change it.
and by the way, you're going to cover the 12 signs as well. And you're offering a personal reading. Zuzana is offering a personal reading for anyone's specialty reading, focused exactly on Pluto, Uranus, Neptune. What is it going to activate over the next 5 years in your horoscope? Is this going to be challenging aspects or positive, helpful? Should cover it all. See how to ride this wave, this divine outpouring of opportunities that is coming. How to write it for your benefit. And if it's going to be more disruptive or it's going to be more flowing for you, check out this. But now that was just the introduction. We haven't even started the presentation.
Okay, so I will share my screen. What I'm sharing. Ah. You don't see anything yet, I think.
I see your Zoom.
Aha, okay. Where it disappeared.
There we go. We
You
see
see it
the
already.
presentation now, yeah.
Okay, perfect. And it's on the wall screen now, I think. Do you see it clearly?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, for those of you who don't know so much about astrology, you can see their lives here. I will move to the second slide first. to show you how this configuration look like. So as I mentioned, it's the red dot. It's the apex, so-called apex, or the focal point, where we will have Neptune. And on the sides, we will have Neptune will be in Aries, and on the sides, we will have one sextile to Pluto in Aquarius and another sextile to Uranus in Gemini. And now I will move first to the chart I was talking about. So long time in the beginning. And this is the chart which correspond to the end of Bronze Age. So the exact date of this chart is 7th of June, 1179 before Christ. But as I mentioned, the years, there could be a couple of years plus and minus, so it could be plus 10, minus 10 years around this period. Even this professor, he named the title of the book 1177, but he said that the Egyptologists, they every few years they argue about the exact date. But if you want to get the exact date according to the old script is the 8th year of the rulership of the Ramses III. So this is the exact year. From our perspective, maybe it's around this time. I used in this chart 1179. And the reason I have chosen this one specifically, this is not the Bi-sextile. Yeah, this is not the Bi-sextile, but in this chart, you have exact 6 degrees for Neptune, Pluto, and Uranus. And between Pluto and Uranus, there is a sextile, supportive position. And between Pluto and Neptune, there is a trine. And Uranus with Neptune is in the exact opposition to each other. So, as I mentioned, this was the time around which the fall of one of the greatest civilization happened. When you see Pluto was in Capricorn, this is what I have mentioned. Pluto was in Capricorn, which we just got out from recently. So, and other positions are Neptune in Virgo and Uranus in Pisces. So here is the combination of the earth and water. We have just had recently, and we still have, because still Uranus at the moment is in Taurus, and the Neptune is still in Pisces. But next year, when it will be activated, they will shift. So this is the configuration of the old times, or of the fall of this civilization, and eventually the end, because the end, one of the causes of the end was the second invasion of these sea people. But it was, as I mentioned, it was so-called perfect storm, that there was a chain reaction of interlinked events. But maybe the real fall was the pivotal moment was this second invasion of sea people to Egypt. And maybe during this time was Uranus already in Aries, and Saturn was in Libra. This could be the time of the second invasion. So, and when you think about it, I mentioned it in the beginning, recently, not so many years ago, we had Uranus in Aries and Saturn in Libra, I think in 2012. So we're already behind this, okay? So this is the first chart. The second chart I want to share is, I will not stay here for long, but I for just illustration, this was another collapse, or another fall of the civilization. In this case, this was fall of the Western Roman civilization. I think they used the date 476. Here is the chart 478. But here you can see already in this configuration, this is a Bi-sextile.
Like now.
Yes. And this is Bi-sextile with Neptune as the midpoint. I think it's quite exact. And Pluto, Uranus, of course, not in the same signs, but it's it's quite interesting to see another example. And now I will move to this 15th century before Christ, which were so-called good times. But as I mentioned before, now we are in the reversed motion. By then, first they had these good times. After that couple of centuries, after there was this fall of the world civilization. So here is the example of this good time. So this was a year 4005 before Christ, and here I'm not sure if you see it.
Yeah.
Also with the position.
The same signs that they're gonna.
Exactly. This one, of course, it's not there is very wide orb in this case, but I was so happy that I found something. And in this case, we have exactly the same position of these outer planets in the same signs as we will have. So Neptune is in Aries, Uranus is in Gemini, and Pluto is in Aquarius.
A lot of people and even astrologers, and they're saying we might enter into a mini golden age now with this bisextile. So hopefully you found here a proof, even though it wasn't exact bisextile, but exactly the same signs. Let's pray to God. We're entering this mini gold age after the darker period.
Yeah, I was very happy when I saw this. And when someone is doing this election search, or you're checking ephemerides, if you have the opportunity to go so much back in time, you will see by yourself, if you do your research, that there is not so much. You will not find much. So I was so happy that I found this configuration, and when I read about it, I saw this was the time of really flourishing civilization. Okay, so now we'll move back to what's happening now in the near future. So first one, I have here this bisextile. I'm also only choosing the charts with the very exact degrees, or very tight orbs. So this one will be activated 7th of August 2025, next year, when Saturn Neptune will activate this configuration. And during this activation, you see there is a kite formation, quite very special formation. Of course, I'm not using all the aspects, so there is more to it. But here you can see this kite formation, and of course, bisextile. In this chart, there is a Saturn Neptune almost at the midpoint between Pluto and Uranus, and there is a very strong, energizing opposition to Mars. Mars is on the other side. Mars opposing Saturn, Neptune. Mars is in Libra, which is not the best position for Mars. So I think this could be an event which is quite not so pleasant. This is something which may shake our reality. But as I said, we need to feel something is happening. We need to experience this. But with this Neptune, as the Saturn slowly will separate, there could be a difficult situation for a certain time. But I believe that Neptune in Aries at the end will help us in a big way to heal something, to realize, and to help each other, to connect. And because nothing, in fact, nothing. When you think about the Neptunian tsunami, how strong is Neptune? Neptune is the ruler of the seas, and even Saturnian walls are not able to stop this Neptunian tsunami. So I believe that Neptune will be stronger in this case. Saturn, astrologically in Aries, is also in its weak position. Neptune is not in the best position either, but at the end, for me, the highest frequency, the highest of all, is love. And Neptune, to me, as the higher octave of Venus, is a divine love.
So more like Neptune will dissolve walls.
Exactly.
So this
And
Saturn.
and I believe that some other astrologers mentioned it, but Saturn Neptune in contact, they are very much related to Russia and in the past Soviet Union. So there will be probably some significant changes and events related to them. Uranus in Gemini is a little bit warlike and rebellious energy. So yes, as I said, this could be happening, and I think Uranus in, or was it? I'm not sure now, but I think the USA will have their Uranus return
Yes.
next year. Yes. So I think there will be also big changes in the USA. Of course, everybody is talking about it. So I will not talk too much in my presentation about this. But with these apex, especially Saturn, Neptune, Russia will probably be playing very important role in this process.
Do you
Okay.
know that Syria has their midheaven, which is rulers and its position in the world, at 1 degree Aries, and
Ah,
Saturn and
oh,
Neptune conjunction happening there, they will play a huge role if anything more, for the collapse or restart of civilization,
yeah,
something around there, because it's come on, Saturn Neptune is on their midheaven.
yeah,
And there is a saying I remember from a little child, my grandma used to tell me, because she used to love listening to prophecies and say when Syria falls, you should know that this is the big time, the big change. Because Baba Vanga, she's a prophetess, Bulgarian one, she always said in the 60s, 70s, 80s, she kept repeating, people asking her, when are the big changes happening? When is the Third World War or whatever? And she says the biggest changes and trials, but also after that, the best time for humans starts after Syria falls. She kept saying it in different contexts. After Syria falls, then the time comes. But there are a few versions, the time for what, which I'm worried about.
yes, yes. And this is exactly what this professor has mentioned. He was talking about this world in a very small scale, but he was talking about this world which was around this Eastern Mediterranean and Near East and Aegean region. But he said that it was the world then, and he said the question is if the next big changes and the collapse or a new birth of new civilization or the new world is is happening first in that particular region as it was in the past, or if it will happen everywhere in the world, because it was the world as we experience now, it was their world before in the past. So yeah, we'll see. Okay. So this is the beginning, the activation of this energy, and I think I don't have the chart from for next year for February, but 20th February 2026 there will be again very close conjunction between Saturn and Neptune. So if we don't see collectively big events or big changes in summer next year, then I believe we will be very familiar with either what happened in the summer, because in autumn, I think on 21st September, there will be eclipse. And that eclipse will be probably 29 degrees Virgo, but it will be solar eclipse, partial solar eclipse in Virgo, and this eclipse will enhance this energy because Neptune and Saturn will be very close to it. Even I think there will still be in Aries because there will be in retrograde motion, but this eclipse will again energize this configuration. And in February, they again meet. I think it will be even more exact in regards Saturn Neptune as the midpoint as in August. So I believe that in February we will be aware of what's happening. And the reason I'm saying maybe we will not see or feel it is Neptune, because with Neptune, as I have been talking before a little bit about it, with Neptune, we may not see or understand exactly what's happening. When you think about the recent years, when we had a Pluto in Capricorn and Neptune in Pisces, and then later, of course, Saturn in Pisces as well. But the focus, the heavy energy last years were felt mostly, at least from my perspective, mostly the heavy weight was given from Pluto in Capricorn. And Neptune in Pisces, because it's in domicile position, it's more gentle energy. But it doesn't mean nothing is happening. In fact, there was a lot happening, but maybe we didn't pay attention to it or we didn't see it. But Neptune is like it's undercurrent. It's not visible. When we see and when we feel this energy and the power of Neptune will be start of the beginning next start of this configuration in next summer. So, but if not summer, then February, I'm sure we will be aware what's happening. So I will move to the next slide. Okay. In 2026, and I have chosen on purpose to look at the degrees also. This is again in the summer 2026, another activation where you have Neptune, Pluto, Uranus, 4 degrees. And there is again very special configuration because we have also Jupiter 4 degrees. So they're creating a configuration which is called, or a pattern, which is called a cradle. And I was a little bit thinking about it because a cradle, it's like a, this baby, for babies, their cradle or their bed, where they feel secure. And at the same time, you have the opposition between Jupiter and Pluto and square to the moon, last degrees, 29, so-called critical karmic degrees. And when you think about the collective energies, Moon in Libra is a social position. It talks about some rights or some, regulation or people in general. So probably this will be the moment or time when some people will opt for certain security. There will be probably somewhere a danger, and we will hide, or people who will have some information will hide. Or from another perspective, this could talk about the spiritual, that people will more reach to some higher wisdom, or this will be already the shift when people will start realizing that we're not only physical, who don't believe it yet, but we are not only physical, but we are also complex spiritual beings. We have a couple of different sheets or bodies. So this is very beautiful configuration. I see it positively, but there is at the same time, something in regards to rights. So this will be like another test. I see this as some tests. For us, for humanity, we need to understand, we need to decode them and to understand that when we connect, we are powerful. Okay, so this is the second one. And the third one, again in the summer 2027, there are 6 degrees positions. So again, Neptune 6 degrees in Aries, Pluto with Lilith and North Node, 6 degrees Aquarius, and Venus 6 degrees Gemini. And what's interesting here is that Venus is with Uranus, and Pluto, as I mentioned, there is North Node, but also Lilith. To me, this could be the time somehow important for women, or for the rights of women, or women will play a very important role here. Maybe, some rights for women were not accepted nowadays, or who still were forced into certain marriages, etc. But I see this moment as very important for women. And that's it. Of course, they will be quite close to each other to 2029, and I think collectively we may see the results, full results of this beautiful configuration around years 2033, because 2033 is the year when Uranus will change sign, I think around May. So it may take quite a long time to understand what was happening and to see, what was Neptune, for example, doing during that whole time, and to understand what was happening, because we may not see everything with our rational mind. There is a really quantum jump in our consciousness. So some people will probably jump on that train, but some will not be so fast. So it may take some time. Okay, so that's it in regards to charts, I believe. And now I will only mention this quite briefly. As I said, there are another great astrologers who are explaining these particular positions. We're talking about the configuration, beautiful Bi-sextile protective energy between Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. Uranus, in its highest vibration manifestation, I see as the divine wisdom, or so-called universal mind. Uranus, from the perspective of the mind, is how we process information and impressions. This is a energy connected to so-called Akashic records. So people who have this ability to reach them, I believe that during that time of Uranus in Gemini, they will be downloading this information. They will have many answers even without studying. So what will be happening from this perspective? Many scientific, medical, and technological breakthroughs, upgrades of travel, communities and communication, brain and nervous system studies and discoveries. I think there will be upgrade in the field of programming, in general, programming, IT world. Here also we will probably discover new ways how to program or reprogram the brain You know, if someone, for example, is has some phobia or is scared of something, we have some techniques nowadays, but I think there will be new ones or easier ones, or there will be a way how to work with certain stressors.
I think, yeah, there will be a dispensation from higher realms, from the angels or whatever you want to call it, about exactly the nervous system, the brain, reprogramming trauma. And because now we have like a few, but there will be outpouring, basically. That's how I see it.
Yeah, yeah, I hope so. I hope so, but I feel it that this is happening. I think nowadays we have some techniques as NFP. I think is one of them, or rewriting of some programs or codes, but people need to repeat them as mantras. But I think this will be much more easier and faster. Now, the next one is innovation in education. I believe we have mentioned it. Intellectual creativity and curiosity. When you think about the position of Pluto in Aquarius, this is the collective, transformation of the collective energy or humanity. And the ruler of Aquarius, the modern one, is Uranus. So the ruler of Pluto in Aquarius, Uranus, will also shift sign, will also be part of this configuration. They will create a trine. So there is a beautiful flow between them, not only by trine, which is a Jupiterian supportive aspect, but also because it's the ruler of Pluto in Aquarius. So this energy will flow to communities. This is innovation in education, not only on the mass scale or not only online, but also in small communities. As you mentioned, that they will learn new skills also with their hands, not only with their mind. And I think this will be happening, that people will be more gathered together, not only online, but small groups of people in the kindergarten or the dance clubs, and being together. Okay. New inventions, discoveries, theories, new societies, clubs, cultural changes, of course. With Uranus, there is this flavor of surprises. Some could be not so pleasant. There could be some shocks, but also pleasant ones, or unexpected turnaround of certain events. Rebellion, of course. I will not talk too much about it, but this is a typical energy of Uranus in Gemini. So rebellion and different protests, and we've been around for a while with these energies since 2020. They were accelerating. As a remedy, I would recommend grounding really yourself in nature without the electronics. If you're working or you're researching something, use it. But if you have also the opportunity to be without it, especially to avoid addiction. A little bit problem with this are addictions. And with Neptune in Aries, these addictions could be very strong or on the rise. There is this fiery energy. So really be careful with any type of addictions, and try to be aware there. By aware that I have addiction, that I will fight with it. Okay, barefoot walks, calming breathing exercise, alternative breath, if you know it, breathing through right and left nostrils alternatively is very good, even before sleep. Okay. The second one is Neptune in Aries. which is a divine love, or you may call it divine acts of love or unconditional love. And from the highest perspective, to me, Neptune is also the ability of seeing and feeling and seeing auras of people, or sensing something, really deep empathy. And this will be the energy which will contribute to this consciousness and reality shifts. And I think the negative side of this is that we will be for certain period of time in a chaos, and it will be a little bit difficult to distinguish what is real and what is not real. And especially I would be careful about young people or teenagers who see something in television and or anywhere on social media, and it looks so realistic that they believe it is real. And this is already happening, but it will be, I think, on the really huge scale, that we will not be able to distinguish what is really, is this really that person, or it is not that person, it is AI. So be a little bit more cautious here. Okay. Neptune, of course, rules religion, so there will be huge changes in the way we perceive spirituality, religion, complete change of our belief system. There could be some new waves of spirituality, even setting some trends, because Neptune is one of the planets related to trendsetters. Spiritual warriors, this is coming from the position of Neptune in Aries, because Aries is connected to heroic or warrior energy. So this combination will bring new spiritual warriors, also those who are literally born during that time, not only those who will choose or who will appear. Visual art, any sort of art, literature, there will be renaissance of these things, probably new music, new art, something we have never seen before, psychic development and mediumship, collapse of oppressive structures, and creation of new forms. I have mentioned this a couple of times in my presentation today. Breakdown of barriers, dissolving boundaries. And this is especially the thing with the Saturn Neptune. Saturn is the wall, is the barrier, is the restriction. And Neptune is like this undercurrent you don't see, or this tsunami, as I mentioned before. So these walls are just destroyed. Utopian social movements. Again, be careful, listen to your intuition. If you don't agree with something, just say no, don't go for it, or don't believe it, everything you see or hear. But probably there will be a couple of them on the rise, or maybe even one, a huge one. Inflation, unfortunately, probably on the rise until this bubble will burst completely. Collective fog, chaos, be very careful of scams. There will be so many, and it's not coming only from this Neptune, which is a little bit foggy energy, in Aries, which is an attack. When you don't see something, someone is attacking you, but you don't see how. And also this Uranus in Gemini. So different scams or cyber attacks, cyber scams, supernatural realms, of course, will be flourishing because this is connected to this consciousness shift, ideological change, especially we'll see it on the long run. This is the energy of invisible undercurrent, which will be probably more visible with Saturn-Neptune activation. From the perspective of the health, I see this position causing, unfortunately, some mental problems, or some epidemics are possible, especially those related to water. Again, connection to a couple of thousand of years back. And now what's the remedy? How to work with this energy? I think music is one of the best here, and but not any music. Music which soothes your soul, really music which calms you down, or classical music, Tchaikovsky or Beethoven, really music with high frequencies, meditation, art, volunteering. With this energy, if you don't know what to do, or you're a little bit depressed, or you don't know the mission in life, one of the best thing I believe what you can do is look for an orphanage, help some children or some seniors, or pets on the street. And I believe that everything will change. I believe that you will find the purpose when someone smiles on you, or smile at the person. It doesn't matter. Yoga, martial art, or helping those in need. Okay. Pluto in Aquarius is the last one in this configuration, and this is from the higher perspective, this is the divine will in collective or life force. And also it's very penetrating energy, so this is like a X-ray vision. And what this energy will bring, I repeat again, find my presentation from the last year on Lada's channel. I did the whole lecture on Pluto in Aquarius, so you can go through it. And my notes here is a transformation in the realms of technology, innovations, and power structures. This is a unique opportunity for personal growth, because Pluto is one of those planets which force you to grow. Which with this energy, once the Pluto will complete its residence in one of the sun signs in your horoscope, especially in the functional houses, you will mature, definitely. Okay, transition of power from governments to people, to groups of people, to people and groups of people. Sorry, possible new denominations and digital currency, of course. And this again with the currency, it's not only Pluto in Aquarius, but also Uranus in Gemini. Changes, for example, on the exchange markets, or also Forex, collapse of banks, big corporations and governmental institutions, fall and rise of powers and governments. We've been talking about this one. Of course, natural disasters. I haven't mentioned them because they have been happening for some time, and they have been here for a while, but this time they will intensify. So huge storms and another catastrophes. Some of them literally may be able to raise the cities to the ground. Fertility matters, and it's already happening. Decrease of world population is maybe not already happening, but I think it's the question few years, because really fertility is much worse, especially since 2020. After this period we have recently experienced is a big problem, and we'll face it in the upcoming years. And also, this is one of the things I haven't mentioned in the presentation, but when you look at the lectures of Professor Klein, you will see that decline of the population was one of the factors which happened after, of course, after the fall of these important civilizations. Alternative ways of generating power, nuclear energy, and maybe the questions related to this. And the remedy for this energy, for Pluto in Aquarius, is joining groups and communities of like-minded people. So you're able to transform collectively. You will thrive in these communities, but you need to choose the one where you feel passionate or content, or where you feel certain purpose. Okay, and now merging it together. So Uranus and Pluto, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto Bi-sextile. So what is this? This is a synergy among technology, spirituality, and transformation. This is collective, or we may call it global transformation, technological advancement, spiritual awakening combined. It may bring the chaos in the moment, but it brings also the positive outlook for the future. It could be a little bit scattered, because too much happening is too quickly. You may look at these energies as the energies of renewal, renaissance, and rebirth. Saturn Neptune brings a massive distortion of reality, and Saturn Neptune is the master builder principle. Why? Because Saturn is able to create a structure. Neptune was bringing you certain vision, especially when in Pisces, as I was explaining in the beginning. So Saturn Neptune together, when they're activated, they give you the opportunity to build something which will have a long-lasting effect in your life. This is energy which is calling us to take responsibility for what we create, and we will focus both or either on local communities or online groups with similar values. And I think a big question which probably we will ask ourselves: what does it mean to be a human? Why we are here, and how we can contribute, how much we are influenced by technologies, how much freedom we have, what sovereignty means for us, how many regulations and rules we need to follow in our lives. And these changes, especially after Saturn will be separating from Neptune, so after 2026, later in that year, could be the changes you cannot control, or you cannot fully control, because they're already happening, but you're choosing your attitude. And simply said, from very high perspective, this is navigating new earth through upgraded spiritual gifts. So at the end, I believe that the result depends on our level of consciousness and ability to unite. Okay, and now I will go briefly through signs, I would recommend you to check your rising sign. First, I'm using both sun system, so the strongest influence of this bisextile will be felt based on your rising sign, but secondary you may check your moon and sun. If, for example, apex of this bisextile is happening on your angular houses, or if it's happening on your moon and there is an activation coming from Neptune and Saturn, there could be changes in your family life in regards to your motherhood, your mother place of living, your emotional stability could be challenged. If it's happening on your sun, there could be changes related to your father figure, father, to your vocation, in regards to your career, your status. So I recommend first checking your rising sign. I will go quite briefly through them, and in case you would like to know more, feel free to reach out. I will be very happy to guide you. So for Aries rising, Neptune will be together with Saturn in the beginning in your first house, Uranus, your third house, and Pluto in 11th house. Neptune in the 12th house in Pisces has been helping you to tap to your visions and to understand what you need to let go in order to align your life path with your higher self. This Neptune in the 12th also could help you to understand what your self-sabotaging behaviors are, or if you have some addiction, to understand what is it, and especially after Saturn has joined this area. Now is the time to act on your vision with your new self, either your body, your appearance, or perhaps entrepreneurship. At the end, Aries is one of those signs which is very passionate about entrepreneurship or really startup projects. Take a risk and learn new skills, upgrade them with the use of technologies. This is coming from the influence of Uranus in the third. And face fears to be a leader in a community, create powerful connection, and set new strategic goals. For you, Aries, this will be happening. This activation will be in your first house. So I believe that you have a great opportunity in the upcoming years, activated in the summer, to expand into new business. You may change the way you communicate, you may change the way you are doing marketing, or you haven't done anything like this before. This is the time to act on it. And if you want to know more, I will be happy to do a special reading focused on this bisextile based on your own horoscope. For Taurus and Taurus rising, this is happening with Neptune in the 12th house, Neptune and Saturn first in the summer, then Uranus in the second house, and Pluto in the 10th house. So Neptune has been in the Pisces in your 11th house since 2011 and has been helping you to tap to your visions in regards to your networks and long-term plans. And especially during the last couple of years, Saturn has joined, so you had the opportunity also to, for example, to let go of some people or some connections from your life who doesn't serve you, and to be quite strategic with your plans. Now, act on your visions and dare to go beyond your wildest dreams. This is Neptune and Saturn in the beginning in your 12th house. Take a risk with your resources, invest in yourself, and promote your unique gifts and talents to the world. This is the Uranus second house. And for you, Taurus, typically, Taurus is quite, this is the energy of going, taking slow steps towards security and whatever that means, and in the end, to reach that goal. With Uranus in the second, this could be the time when you will be a little bit more extravagant, more prone to take risks in a financial field, or to invest into something extraordinary or something which is not typical for you. Face your fears and empower your position in the outer world. Okay, and if you would like to know more, I will be very happy to guide you based on your own personal chart. For Gemini, Neptune is or will be activated in the apex with Saturn in your 11th house, creating Bi-sextile to Uranus in your first house and another Bi-sextile to Pluto in your 9th house. So far, Neptune in the 10th house has been helping you to tap to your visions and to understand what role you want to play in the world and what career direction you want to go. This Neptune and later joined by Saturn could also mean that, for example, in your career, you have left your last job, or you have decided to move to the job which is more spiritual, or to job where you're more connected with your heart to. And now it's time to act on your vision with new networks and goals. Take a risk with your appearance. This is Uranus in the first. Be experimental, break free, and don't forget to ground yourself. And this is a message for the Gemini rising especially, because, you're very much in your head, sometimes in your hands too, but it's very important for you. Uranus in your rising sign, you will be really very much on the go. So it's important to ground yourself, and how I have explained in my previous slides, but one of the very basic things you may do is to walk barefoot on the ground in exterior. Face fears to plan big for yourself. And if you want to know more, please contact me. I will be very happy to guide you through these energies for the upcoming years based on your own natal chart. For Cancer, this is happening with the Neptune and Saturn as the activator of these energies in the 10th house, Uranus in the 12th, and Pluto in the 8th house. So during the last couple of years, since 2011-12, Neptune in the 9th house has been helping you gathering inspiration, expanding your mind, and this could be also the time you were, for example, traveling a little bit more. And later with the Saturn, you could also, for example, start teaching, or start traveling and building some structure out of it. For example, started your career as the tour guide. Act on your visions in the area of your career which resonates with your life mission. Be brave to align to your higher self. through spiritual practice. Be experimental in the field of healing. Discover your hidden genius. You will help probably during that period when Uranus is in Gemini in your 12th house, many so-called aha moments, many moments when you will suddenly understand some patterns or even some things you didn't know before, or you may discover some hidden truth or information from the past. Face your deepest fears and your inner power. Transform your financial status. Leo, for you, it's happening with Neptune and Saturn in your 9th house, Uranus in the 11th, and Pluto in the 7th house. So during last couple of years, especially since 2011 and later, altogether a couple of years with Saturn, Neptune in the 8th house has been helping you to tap into your shadow, to accept it, and to dissolve it. Act on your vision and explore new horizons, ideas, teachings, countries, and higher truth. Dare to plan big. This is a beautiful energy because Neptune in the 9th creates a trine to your rising sign. So this is very supportive energy. You will literally be limitless in regards to opportunities you will be meeting on the road. Take a risk to set new goals and change your networks. Use technologies and be a part of communities or online communities in this case, because we're talking about Uranus in Gemini in 11th house. Face fears and empower yourself in the area of relationships, partnerships, and clients. And if you would love to know more, just contact me through AstroLada, and I will be very happy to guide you personally. Okay, the next one is Virgo. So for you, Neptune, and all together in the beginning with Saturn activated next year in the summer 2025, will be in your 8th house, Uranus in your 10th house, and Pluto in the 6th, creating this beautiful supporting Bi-sextile. So Neptune in the 7th house during last year, since 2011, since 2012, last couple of years all together with Saturn, has been helping you to create a vision for harmonic relationships and partnerships. And the Saturnian energy last couple of years was quite helpful because those relationships you created last couple of years, yes, there could be challenges and so-called reality check, not easy ones, but at the same time, I believe that if they were real to you, if you were true to yourself and in your full integrity, I believe these relationships have the chance to stay with you for a longer time if you pass the test of Saturn Neptune in your 8th house. Now act on your visions and dissolve any toxic connections from your life. Forgive and accept. Face your inner fears and let yourself to be healed on deepest levels. Take a risk in a new profession or career. Upgrade your current status. This is coming from the Uranus in the 10th. So you may, for example, go for a career you could never imagine that you would be, for example, freelancer, or you would be working in a tech industry. So this is really a change in the career direction. Transform your daily work environment, your routines, and focus on improvement of your health. That Pluto in the 6th house could bring a lot of focus on certain disharmony or disbalance in your life, and you will be, with this energy, you will be a little bit forced to find that balance or find that harmony or to improve your health. For Libra, Neptune in the 7th, in the moment of activation, all together with Saturn, creating a sextile to Uranus in the 9th house, and also to Pluto in the 5th house. So for you, I forgot to read the titles for another signs. For you, in this case, is like new or renewed relationship. So Neptune has been in your 6th house, helping you to tap to your visions in regards to your work and to let go of activities or vices which doesn't serve you anymore. And last couple of years, since Neptune and Saturn were together in your 6th house, that Saturn was that reality check, which helped you to, for example, set a new structure in your daily routines, or which helped you to change something in your work environment. Or if you have some employees, it could help you to set more strict rules in regards or in your relationships with your employees. Now it's time to act on your visions with new partnerships and collaborations. Take a risk and explore new studies, new countries, literally new territories. For you, this is also very exciting and electrifying energy. Face fears to share your creative ideas with public, to connect and inspire others. So if you want to know a little bit more on what's happening in your life according to your own natal chart, feel free to reach out and I will be very happy to guide you. The next one is Scorpio. So for you, Scorpio, I put a title here, a new or renewed work project. Of course, it could go beyond this, but Neptune will be activated in the beginning altogether with Saturn in your 6th house, creating a sextile to Uranus in your 8th house, and also another sextile to Pluto in the 4th, and between them is a beautiful supportive trine. So Neptune in the 5th house has been helping you since 2011, 2012 to tap to your visions and to understand what you want to create, which unique talents you want to present to the public, and help you to heal your inner child archetype. And during the last couple of years, especially when Saturn has joined this combination, you could start thinking about how to make some of your, for example, hobbies or some of your something you're passionate about, how to create something out of it. So now it's the time to act on your visions with the new work or work project. Align your daily routines with themes of healing and service. Take a risk and face your so-called shadow. Discover alternative ways in healing and transform your home environment and finally and family dynamics. This could be even like reconstructing your home or rebuilding something or even changing a location. For Sagittarius, I call this one a new love or a renewed love. It doesn't need to be only romantic love based on where it's happening in your chart. This could be also a new clientele, because Neptune will be activated with Saturn together in your 5th house. Uranus will be in the 7th and Pluto in the 3rd. And this energy will be there for a couple of years. It will be activated in 2025 in the summer, and it will last until 2029. So quite a long couple of years. A lot of opportunities will open for you. So Neptune in the 4th house has been helping you to tap to your visions and to understand what you want to create in your home environment and your family dynamics. During the last couple of years, there has been Saturn also, so there could be some challenges, or you could experience more difficult times in your family dynamics, but at least this helped you to understand and to give you this vision. What you want to create, what kind of family you want to have. It helped you also to find some peace in your emotional side. It gave you certain emotional stability. Now act on your vision with new creative projects. Be open to embrace and experience new love. Become more active in public. Take a risk in the field of relationships and partnerships. Be experimental and change your client base. Face fears to be powerful in your communication. Start a new business. Follow your passions with learning specific skills or new skills. Or if you already are skilled in something, for example, you are a writer, with that Pluto in the 3rd, you may, for example, start writing a krimi or writing about some sexual or taboo themes, or you may go deeper with some sort of research if you're a scientist. So if you want to know more, or if you want me to guide you personally, I will be very happy if you reach out to me, and I will read your chart, how these energies will play out in the upcoming years for you. For Capricorn, I call this new home or renewed home, and Neptune will be in your 4th house in the beginning, all together with Saturn, Uranus in the 6th, and Pluto in the 2nd. So Neptune, Saturn will be the roof, the apex, the focal point of this beautiful configuration, and creating sextile to Uranus on one side, to Pluto on the other side, and Pluto-Uranus will create together very beautiful flowing trine. Neptune in the 3rd house has been helping you to tap to your visions in the field of communication and your skills. During the last couple of years, there have been Saturn altogether, so maybe you have been forced a little bit by the outer circumstances to learn something new. Or you had to be patient. Saturn is the ruler of time. You had to start taking a course which lasts a couple of years, or you may switch in regards to the way you learn something to something more serious topic. Now act on your visions with new environment and your family. Take a risk with your work environment and upgrade your daily activities. With Uranus in the 6th, your daily activities will be a little bit tested. each day will be different. It will be, unless you have their very strong stabilizing energy, this Uranus in the sixth will give you a lot of excitement to your day-to-day activities. Face fears in area of your sense of security. Explore your talents and gifts as your true possessions. So if you would love to know more how this energy will play out for you, Capricorn, feel free to contact me via AstroLada, and I will be very happy to guide you. Okay, last two signs are Aquarius. I call this energy for Aquarius a new business or renewed business. And for Aquarius, Neptune will be in your third house in the beginning, all together with Saturn, Uranus in the fifth, and Pluto in the first house. With the Neptune in the second house, which was in the second house since 2011-2012, this energy has been helping you to tap to your visions, how to use your talents and gifts, and how to share them with the others. That influence of Saturn in the last years could, first of all, mean that you were more tight, for example, on budget, or you decided to set some strategic planning in regards to your finance, or you were setting new goals, how to use your gifts and talents. Now, act on your visions with a new business, skills, in regards to a new community, or in the area of learning. Take a risk and create what you are passionate about. With this Uranus in the fifth, be a little bit careful with this energy of sudden love affairs, especially if you're in the relationship. If you're married, you may lose your head, because of someone else. So be a little bit careful there. Face fears to be more powerful and fragile at the same time than ever. Be open and willing to be born again. And this is coming from the energy of Pluto in the first. In the beginning of this transit, again, depends a lot on your personal chart, but in the beginning of this transit, it could be quite intense energy. There could be, some heavy themes coming out, or past could be a little bit reaching to you. But believe me, by the end of the transit, you will be stronger than ever. I have Pluto in the first house my whole life, and it really empowers, but it takes some time. You need to be a little bit patient. If you want to know more, I will be very happy to guide you. Reach me via AstroLada channel, and we will look at your personal chart and what you may expect in your life during the upcoming years. Okay, and last but not least, Pisces rising. I called this energy for you new or renewed abundance, because Neptune, all together with Saturn, will be activating your second house and creating a beautiful sextile to Uranus in the fourth and to Pluto in the 12th. Between them will be trine, and the Neptune in the second, it will be like the Neptune sitting on your roof. And during the last couple of years, especially since 2011-2012, Neptune in the first house has been helping you to connect to your higher self. Let go your old identity and heal you. You're Pisces, so Neptune is one of your rulers. So this transit could be actually very healing for you. Now it's the time, since the summer next year, acting on your visions to create abundance and security you need. Take a risk and upgrade your home environment, live in alternative way and travel. The Uranus in the fourth can give you many, um, uh, surprises in regards to your home or sudden travels, and you will gain very inspirational information based on those travels. So be prepared really to move around a lot. Face fears to explore more unknown. Use your powers to manifest and transform your spiritual gifts. And Pisces, if you want to know more, please contact me via AstroLada channel, and I will be very happy to guide you in the upcoming years.
Thank
And
you.
I think that's it.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Susanna. Thank you for taking classes in history for this presentation. This is incredible insights you gave us. I'm not sure anyone else has noticed that, so it's a great revelation you offered our viewers. Maybe that's your Pluto in the first house, digging always to the very bottom of everything.
Probably yes, but I had so much fun, and my fiance, when I discovered this, I was telling to him, almost every day, watch this with me, watch this with me. This is so exciting, and he was looking at me, and of course, yes, he's trying to be sympathetic to this and to understand it, but there is not so much passion as I have. So I was very happy that I had this opportunity to share it with people, because I believe that I will wake up the curiosity in some of them, and they will find this information and they will study themselves, because it's amazing.
Such a beautiful contribution, and I totally identify with you, because for me, discovering new knowledge, especially personal discovery, nothing lights me up like that. We bookworms and astrology ladies. That's what really excites us. Thank you, Susanna. Again, if anyone would like to contact Susanna, I'm putting a link below in the description. She's an exceptional astrologer, very insightful, as you can see. And yes, can you say a wrapping up word for this configuration for all of us?
Yeah, I have already written in my last slide, and the message out of this is, if we understand what's happening, that's why I love astrology, but it could be any other tool. I think when we understand that everything is cyclical, but we need to take some morals out of it. We need to understand that what was happening in the past could be eventually prevented. Never happened exactly the same way. There are different actors, there are a little bit different parameters. So I believe if we have this information, some astrologers are giving us, or some other healers or psychic, and we're smart, then we could be quite calm, because we know how to prepare. And it's the same as with the surfers. I have a couple of friends who are surfers, and they study these waves, so they understand when the big wave is coming, they will either wait and go under the wave, or they will ride that wave. There is a choice. So I believe this is also our current situation. So if we're smart enough, we will not be drawn by intensity or how fast is the change, but we will adapt, because I believe that human being is able to adapt to anything, and we can thrive in these times. It doesn't matter what's currently happened. I believe that we will be in much better times quite soon. So even if there are challenges now or in the near couple of years, I believe I'm optimistic, but I'm not naive at the same time. I believe that luck is on the side of those who are prepared.
Beautiful. And with this very uplifting message, Thank you so much, Susanna, for your contribution,
Thank you.
for the incredible
Thank you very
knowledge.
much.
Thank
And
you,
I
everyone, for
wish to
joining.
everyone beautiful and peaceful Christmas and the start to New Year.
Amen. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye bye.